Well, hello. Welcome to our new friends. You might wonder what we're doing here and how I connected with Hai Ching. I think it was about 4 years ago we worked on a major project, and as he's an old dancer and I'm an old dancer, I come from show business way back in the 60s, the late 50s, and I've been in the arts all my life, and we immediately had a rapport that only dancers have, basically. And it's been incredible to make lots of new friends. So here we are. I don't quite know why I'm here, but I'm thrilled to be here, and I'm thrilled to be a director of AAAHA, because I think this is the way forward. This is amazing. So you would probably know something about what we do. I'm the creative director of Pinpoint Create. When I retired, it's a long story, and I've been an arts officer, I've been a teacher, I've been a performer on television, I've done all sorts of things in my life. When I retired, I didn't want to retire because I still thought I had more to do. So I decided to start my own arts company and got hicked up with a very long time friend, Mike, here. We used to teach together, and David and Tony, who's our resident writer, and decided that we would do something that everybody said wouldn't work, and actually 1,500 people turned up. So, I knew, as we were saying early, it's really important for you to follow your vision on what you want to do. And if you guys want to do something, just go and do it. And if people say it won't work, don't take any notice of them if you know what you're doing. Anyway, I'll tell you something about Pinpoint. We're based in the UK, actually in Southend-on-Sea and Chelmsford, which is the outer reaches of Essex. I'm an Essex girl, East London Essex girl, and always been based here. We like to reinvent tradition, and we've been very fortunate in having a lot of Heritage Lottery funding and ACE funding ever since I decided I wanted to get on with this. We like to put lots of different art forms together, though I'm obviously more interested in dance. Mike is our artistic director. He's a brilliant theatre director. If I want something composed, I go to David and say, can you write me this, please? And if I want something written, I always go to Tony Michaels and say, can you put this together? I'd like this written, please. So, I'm a bit sort of pushy. We make theatre in site-specific and historic traditional locations. So we like to do all sorts of different things. And we like stories and legends around the concept of the international story, but bringing it to people's hearts and minds, basically. So we go from all sorts of different things. Whatever catches your imagination, you go with it. And we like working with communities and with education. I'm also a director of a large learning community, so education is kind of important. The new younger generation coming through, and it's in a very deprived area, so it's kind of important to me that we do those sort of things. So next, please. Yes, okay. So this is what we like doing. We like making things happen. I like making things happen. We've built a theatre in a listed building. That was a major, huge project. 40 performances, thousands of kids, thousands of artists, professional show, etc. And then we've done other things. We ran a festival at the end of Southend Pier, a mile and a half out to sea, telling stories at the end of the pier. So we've gone from big things to little things. You go where there's no such thing as a small show. Thank you. Okay. I was fortunate. I was arts officer for Thurrock Thames Gateway for 7 years, and it was when the Labour government were in and we had lots of money. It was wonderful. And I was able to sort of fulfil all sorts of dreams about doing things that I wanted to do, but actually engaging with the community. So we knocked lots of famous people off their podiums at the V&A when we won the the regional and the national arts and business community award. That was a very good moment, that was. They said, rubbish. And, the Royal Opera House, the Vietnam and all this sort of thing. And we knocked them off their podium, which was good. So that was a big commercial Christmas show. And it had loads of children, and everybody said, you can't do a nativity. Nobody does nativities anymore, and every school signed up because it's a jolly good story. You don't have to be religious. We go with the stories. And having come from the theatre and the commercial theatre, I wanted to have a commercial show as well. So we did Christmas around the world, celebrations around the world, whatever we fancied. So that was a good thing. And I've actually got the award on my kitchen shelf now because we stole it from Thurrock Council. It's quite funny. Okay, can I have the next one, please? Okay. And then with Tony and Mike, we did 2 Heritage Lottery productions. We did Timepieces, which was telling the story of the foundation, the digging of the port of Tilbury on the River Thames, which was dug out by labourers from all over the world by hand, and they dug this amazing port. And that was really good because we did music hall, which I have a bit of a fondness for. That was in a derelict building, and then we recreated the opening by Ramsay MacDonald. And Mike, you were the storyteller, weren't you? Because Mike is an international storyteller. So he was the storyteller. You held the whole piece together. It was sort of a Doctor Who thing, wasn't it? You arrived in a mini. It was great fun. And we had loads and loads, about 1,000 school children came and learnt this story. Next, please. Yes. And then that was so successful, fortunately the Heritage Lottery funded us again. And we told the next story, which was the arrival of the Empire Windrush and the how it influenced British music. In fact, London is the place for me, is actually the first time I've heard that number on Paddington, the new film of Paddington, and they use that fantastic, what's the guy's name?
Lord Kitchener.
Lord Kitchener, who came from the West Indies, and he sang that on the steps of the, so we recreated all that, the Windrush, when they arrived in England.
He composed it on the boat on the way over.
Yeah.
As an introduction to
yeah, and it was recreated in the film Paddington, actually. I'm surprised they didn't use it in the Olympics. It's such a wonderful piece. And, yeah, that was another one, and the repatriation of, you know, the different people that came over after the Second World War. And they are a lovely little boat. We went round the railway station. That was great fun. And also the people that went to Australia, the £10 poms that went off to Australia, because that was a big migration. Okay, yes. Okay, next. Okay. We're also fortunate to be asked to do the opening ceremony. We did the story of Marconi for Chelmsford City Council, which was quite exciting. It was nice to be part of the Olympics. Next, please, yes. And our biggest production was Beowulf, because we're really keen on medieval stuff and ancient stories. They're international. And we did this in the park. And we did a big educational project. David wrote a new opera for it, which was and actually it's still with the National Theatre. I'm still waiting for them to send it back and say no, but they've had it for about 18 months. So anyway, that was a year-long project. And next, please. Yes, sorry, I'll hurry. Yeah, we did Priory People. That was a local project telling the story of a local family, and they created a newspaper, then they went off to war. And that was a big educational project, and we did a festival that year as well. That was Heritage Lottery. And next, please, yes. Oh, and then I worked with Hai Ching on this amazing production of Noise Flood, which we performed in Southend, then in Thurrock, and then at Southwark Cathedral, all in 1 week, with the Britten Symphonia and 100 kids with all your wonderful masks and things, and a youth orchestra and professional opera singers, and it nearly killed me because it was the hottest week of the year. But it was that was funded by the Arts Council. Next, please, yes. And this is our latest project, which we've just finished, which was a World War I commemoration of our local town, Southend. And that involved lots of community groups. We did our own production, but lots of schools did bits as well. They did their own shows and they explored their own history, particularly the convent and, you know, how they came in through it. And David wrote some new music for that. And yeah, but next, that's it. I think now our new project, which we're waiting for Arts Council funding, is a medieval wagon, and we're going to use an international cast of 5, but we hope to use all sorts of dancers and people that might be over this year from India or wherever. You know, we're going to put them into the show, and we're hoping to tour this medieval wagon, which will tell stories of the world. And then next year we'll go to a different country. We'll start off with England, then we'll tell Indian stories and Chinese stories, and we hope that people that are here would want to be part of it. It would be really nice. But we've got to get the money first, and that's always the hard thing. And Mike is going to take over because he's got a nice story to tell you.